Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is April 9th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. You can see the next storm system out here. This is mainly going to impact the Pacific Northwest and also swing across some of the inner mountain west, the associated trough, and that will kick up winds a bit for California. It's not going to bring much in the way of precipitation, but we'll take a look at some of the extended models upcoming here, and we'll take a look at how much we're going to warm up across the state over the next few days as well. Now, taking a look at the visible satellite imagery. It's amazing what you can do today here with the GOES 18 satellite imagery. Look at the snow-capped mountains across the Sierra Nevada. You can see where some low clouds are butting up against the foothill areas down across some of the southern San Joaquin Valley. And you can see Mount Shasta there, for example. And you can see some of the fog into the valley areas there up across northwest California. If you scroll down here, you can also see the marine layer. If I put that in motion, you can kind of see it ebbing and flowing there across San Diego. They're famous for their fog down there. You can see it creeping up across Orange County coastal areas there. And there is some sun to be had across some of the Southland here this morning for sure. And the marine layer is only just touching the very immediate coastal areas. You can also look up across Colorado and some of the snowpack there as well in Nevada. So yeah, fun stuff there. Now, taking a look here at the Patreon page, this is relatively new. If you want to help support the channel, go to that link down below and you can sign up there and become a member and whatnot. I'm trying to get a chat going there and maybe a Discord server where I can go in there and ask or answer questions at times. Just have a kind of an ongoing rolling conversation with people from Pacific Northwest and California Weather Watch channel. So check it out. Now, chance of max temperatures here. So we're going to warm up a bit here, greater than 80 degrees. You can see as we go through today, Thursday, Friday, we cool down a little bit there Saturday, but we keep these temperatures elevated for some of the state. And I'll show you more on that here in a moment. We'll take a look at the temperature anomaly, what kind of temperatures we are expecting. But this is percentage of temperature greater than 80 degrees here coming up. So you can see fairly warm today. Modesto and Chico touching 80% there. So also looking at mid-April temperature warm up. So we're not looking at a major heat wave or anything like that. It's still a bit early in the year, but there could be some minor or moderate risks out there, and you can kind of see that in the orange would be the moderate and the yellow there. So, you guys don't need me to tell you how to beat the heat, but just have that in the back of your mind. Things are warming up a bit here. Now, taking a look at San Diego, California, look at Palm Springs, 100 degrees highs today. If we go to Thursday, look at 101, thermal checking in at 99. Look at Means Lake at 93. You can see Borrego Springs there, almost 100 degrees. We go to Friday, look at that, probably the warmest day here. Octillo Wells, 101, thermal up over 100 degrees. Palm Springs as well. And you see some pretty warm temperatures. Anaheim, 89. Irvine getting towards 80 degrees. Even Oceanside, 74. San Diego checking about 74 degrees as well. And actually, let me go back one more. We're going to take a look at what is going on Friday, and there's Saturday. We cool things down a little bit there on Saturday. So anyway, let's go back to the weather models here, and you can see that storm system. This is headed for the Pacific Northwest there, and that's going to be this system swings through. You can kind of see this active unsettled weather here across the region. A little bit of an inside slider here, a bit far to the east, but it is going to kick up the winds a little bit. Could kick off a few showers as you go through the day on Saturday, but not much precipitation expected. You saw a little blurb of showers there as we went through Sunday afternoon also. But you can see we remain dry through about the 6-day period here coming up. More on that here in a moment. But if we take a look at the European, this is the same model, but we're looking at 100-meter wind speeds. And you see the wind start to kick up as we go through the weekend, right? There we go on to Friday night and Saturday. You can see some gusty northerlies coming down the valley areas and some westerlies coming across the higher terrain. Nothing too extreme, but you can see they do pick up as you go through Saturday afternoon. Some decent north and northwesterly gusts all the way up and down the coastline also, especially northwest California. And then we turn things a bit offshore. And if you notice that Sunday morning, you're getting some east winds across the Sierra Nevada, the northern Sierra Nevada, Cascades, Klamath Range, and whatnot. But the northerlies also coming down some of Sacramento Valley there also. So yeah, nothing too extreme, but yeah, a little bit breezy as that trough passes by to our north and east. Now, looking at the max temperatures here today, you can see there are some low to mid 80s out there, and you see some areas maybe touching up toward the 100 degrees across some of the deserts, and again, fairly warm across Southern California. There's Thursday and Friday. Southern California, the desert's probably the warmest day on Friday. Cool back down a little bit there Saturday. But we remain elevated here as we go on into next week as well with that ridge reach around, and you can kind of see some upper 80s showing on Monday for Bakersfield, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So what does that mean? Let's take a look at that with regards to where things usually are at this time of year. 2-meter temperature anomaly on the European last night. So here we are. This is a running 1-day total. We are above average for much of the area. Maybe along the immediate coastline of Southern California, the Southland, you're a little bit below normal, but you don't have to go very far inland to get above normal quite quickly. So we scroll off in towards Saturday. That trough moves through, and it does cool down some in Northern California, maybe the Bay Area a bit there as well, portions of Nevada. But a lot of the state does stay above average as we go into the early portion of next week. Then you see the temperatures rebound a little bit for interior areas, and the coastal areas do drop down a bit below normal. So taking a look at the extended forecast. So there goes that system up into the Pacific Northwest. Unsettled weather across the Intermountain West a little bit there as we go through the weekend. But then again, we are warming up a bit. And then we scroll off into the future. And then there's this trough that shows up in the European artificial intelligence. You can see it does want to bring some precipitation here to the west, which would include California potentially. But that's a bit far out in the forecast. You're looking up over 10 days out right there. So we'll just kind of monitor that and see how that system trends and what our chances are. Snow depth in inches, European last night's run. So if I put this into motion, you notice the gradual decline of the snowpacks. I'm scrolling through here. Starts over again, ends, starts over again, and ends. And that's because we're about that time of year here where the statewide snowpack eventually starts on its downtrend. We're getting towards the peak, though, of what the snow water equivalent usually is for this time of year. And we're not doing too bad. I think a lot of places are actually, statewide, we're right around 100%. So that is normal. Some of the northern region, a little bit higher, central, southern, a little bit below there, but not too bad overall speaking. But it is the time of year where we start to decline that if things start to warm up again here and we start to reduce that snowpack across the higher terrain. So 6 to 10 day, the above normal signal still remains below normal for precipitation. Don't like to see that, but not much you can do about it. In the above average, kind of squarely central across Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and California as we go through April 22nd. And that below normal signal continues to be with us here. I don't like seeing that here as we head off into the spring and summer months, but there it is. And yeah, so there we go. Well, what's next? I guess we'll just continue to watch the trends off into the future, enjoy the warm-up that we have out there, and hopefully we can get some systems in here before spring turns to summer. But you guys know how that goes. We'll just continue to monitor it and check back on a daily basis. Otherwise, hope you guys are having a good day. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this all again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.